Okay, let me. Hello everyone. Long time no see. Happy holidays to everyone. And thank you very much for joining today's EWB Thursday webinar. We are really happy to see all of you here today. And as our director Nasiba always says, we use this 1 hour as investment to our careers and our future. So you are great investors all here who decided to spend their evenings for their professional development. We are really proud to have such dedicated English language teachers among EWB members. So thank you very much for being with us today. And also thanks to our speaker, Dr. Giuseppe Chiaramonte, who is also joining us during this period of holidays, period of joy, warmth, tasty food, and warm connections. So thank you all. Thank you, our dear Dr. Giuseppe. So before we start with today's webinar, let me briefly introduce our speaker to you, because we are hosting Giuseppe for the first time, but hopefully not for the last time. So Dr. Giuseppe Chiaramonte is an English language fellow with the U.S. Department of State in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, where he's responsible for instructing a diverse cadre of English second language college students and training faculty, and administration in current English language center curriculum and assessment strategy. Over the course of his educational career, he has facilitated and developed professional development workshops for over 3,000 and more educators, administrators, and staff across the United States and Central Asia. He has taught students and trained professors, teachers, and administrators in America, Karakalpakstan, Thailand, Vietnam, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. He has delivered 19 keynote and plenary speeches at international educational conferences, and he has mentored PhD candidates throughout Central Asia via the Inspire Scholars PhD Writing Support Group. And yes, today we are glad to have Dr. Giuseppe as EWB speaker, and we are really we were really looking forward to this webinar because the topic of the webinar is quite exciting too. It is about lesson planning, and as we all know, lesson planning is the key to successful English language class. So I hope that today we will all have opportunities to learn more about this key and master it. And I hope that by the end of the webinar, we all will be inspired to start the new semesters at our schools and universities and give even more to our students. And let me also remind you that we use this platform as not only the opportunity to get something from our speakers, but also share our own experiences. So while we are hosting this webinar, please be active through chat, through comments if you're watching us on Facebook, and you can even unmute yourself and share your ideas or responses to the questions of the speaker out loud. So one more time, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, dear Dr. Giuseppe, and over to you.
All right. Hello, my friends. How are you? We are ready to begin. I am so excited you came and get to hang out with me for about 40 minutes. So 40 minutes. And I want to start out with just a quick story. And because I'm the luckiest person on the face of the earth to be here with you. And when I was in Thailand, I heard a story that changed my life. So I'm going to share it with you. Two monks were walking down a dirt road in the middle of a small village, and it started raining really, really hard. And as it was raining, the roads got muddy. And in the distance, one of the monks sees a woman struggling in the rain. And so the one monk who sees a woman says, "Oh, I'm going to go help her." But the other monk, we're going to call him the angry monk. The angry monk says, "You can't do that because monks aren't allowed to touch women." So the helpful monk says, she's struggling. I better do something. I know the rules say this, but I'm going to go do it. So he goes over, helps the woman, gets her to a dry part of the road, and gets her to her home. Well, the angry monk and the helpful monk go back to the monastery, the temple, and about 5, 6 hours pass by. And the angry monk comes out of his meditation and goes to the helpful monk. He says, "Hey, I'm still angry about you helping that woman." And you know what the helpful monk says? The helpful monk says, "Are you still carrying that woman in your head?" And the point of the story is the fact that we all have a lot of experiences in our head right now. You might have an experience with an American or a foreigner, a guy with tattoos, a bald head, a birthmark. But, I'm going to share with you that today, if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, stressed, just be in the moment with me because I am really excited to be here with you. And in America, Albert Einstein said the measure of intelligence is our ability to change. And that is from Thailand. Are we open to change? To America, are we open to change? To Tajikistan. So today, my goal is this: to make you 1% better. If you can get one tool into your tool belt to make you a better educator, more confident, then we had a great 40 minutes together. So you ready to go? Is everybody ready? I got the chat open. You ready? If you do, yeah. All right. I'm really, really proud of and just excited to be here with you. So thank you. So again, we are today, I'm going to tell you and share with you, this is not a quiet webinar. Not at all. As you could see with me, I expect us to share ideas because I'm working with you. I'm not above you. I'm here to collaborate, support, guide. If anything, if you need some mentorship, great. If not, I'm here to learn with you. So just keep that in mind because leadership and education in our classrooms sometimes are a contact sport, right? And even online, I think there's a lot of educators, and maybe you know from your experience, my 20, 30-year teachers, that some of the educators are just on the outside, sitting at their desk, hoping class is over soon. But that's not us. That's not us. We are the change leaders. So I'm here with a bunch of leaders. I'm excited. And so as we move forward, I got to ask you a question. I have to ask you a question. In this webinar, I want you to think, what is one word that has to happen today for this to be worth your time? Because your time is valuable. You know the age-old saying, time is money. Now, one of my new friends I just met was saying, "Hey, I'm cooking dinner right now for my family." That's amazing. Some of you had class today. Some of you have responsibilities and you're still here. So what's one word that would help me understand you that much more? What is one word? Let's see here. Thanks. Ready? Ooh, are you ready? All right. What's one word in the chat that would something to be worth your time? Make it valuable today. Is it build your confidence? Is it learn something new about student-centered teaching practices? What is it? What do you think? Just one word in the chat. Look at the chat. And As we move on, just think you're in a waterfall right now. You're just hanging out. Novelty. Ooh, Nadia. Interesting word. Nadia, I'm going to give it to you on this one. You ring the bell on that one. I have learning. Honor. Honor CRT NX1 cell phone. I love it. I wish I knew your name. If you could put your name there. But learning, thank you. And novelty, thank you. I think that is really an innovative answer. Zebo growth. Got for Zebohan improving. So getting better, that concept of 1% better every day, picking up something new, leadership, learning, agile learning. Thanks a lot. I'm so happy because the first time I joined, oh, I love it. I love it. I'm really glad you're here. And if I Gulchekra, I hope I said your name right. I'm really glad you're here. All right. So thank you for your participation. And I hope through this next 30 minutes. Oh, thank you. Improving. All right. So these are the things that together, this is me, just so you know, that's a picture of me. And thank you for that amazing start. So just so you know, you call me Giuseppe. That's my name. So from here on out, when I come to Hujan or Dushanbe again and I meet you, hey Giuseppe, how are you doing? And I'll can't wait to meet you all in person. Okay. So let's get this party started. So there, I do have some objectives today. And I do have a roadmap. I want you to think we're on a pirate ship right now. And I'm looking out and I have a plan, but you know, you're in control. We're in this together. So if you have a question, who, what, where, when, why, and how, if you have something, an idea that you say, hey, I really think this is going to not only provide support or help, I think it's really important that we advocate and magnify your voice because that's why we're here. All right. So if you look at point number 3, audit and revise one teaching moment. So we're going to look at our teaching moments together. That's our roadmap today. So just so you know, we're going to keep it simple. Keep it simple today. So teachers often we have this idea in our head, but then what are the outcomes? What's our point that we're trying to do? And then when we look at a whole student, are we looking at them at the spiritual, the emotional, the physical, the mental side? Are we building confidence? Are we bringing them in to our environment and creating belonging and safety? All that matters. And so I want you just to kind of look at all these massive amount of components that make up teaching. And again, reinforce that you're doing a great job. You are doing a phenomenal job. All we're going to do today is we're going to break it down into some really simple ideas. And then finally, one concrete change. Remember I said earlier, one change that you could use today to do what? Motivate, inspire your students. Ooh, it's going to be a great day. All right, here we go. So, are you familiar with these topics? Just think about it. All right. Are you somewhat familiar? Right now, you're like, oh my gosh, you're still getting used to me and maybe getting used to the speed by where I'm talking. So if you just want to sit back and listen, that's okay too. All right, let's get going. So in the chat, I want you to really interact with these statements. What's an objective and what's an outcome? And so we're going to interact together. Is this an objective, O, or is this an outcome? And this is only for us as educators, because a lot of times we have objectives and outcomes, but they're two separate ideas. And it's like looking across a big chasm and there's a bridge. We have objectives and then we have outcomes. So students will identify 3. Now look at the verb. Look at the verb, will. So just keep that in mind. Will. And I just want you again. Yeah. All right. So next one. Students can justify. Which argument is stronger and explain why? If you have an objective and an outcome when you're lesson planning, or at least in your head, when you're thinking about the scope, the big picture, and then how you're going to get the big picture through Bloom's revised taxonomy, Webb's depth of knowledge,
Mm.
Coates' house of questions, Knowles et al., Albert Ben, all Piaget, Chomsky, Delheims, whatever it may be. All these people are great to know. They're great researchers, methodologists, pedagogy, andragogy, but who's in control of their classroom? Us. And so it comes down to, yeah, we may know all these amazing people, but can we really stay focused on what is the objective and what is the outcome? All right. So let's check out this third one. Students will review vocabulary. You feeling the pattern here? This is again, this could be review, or this could be just reinforcing a concept going, oh yeah, I needed this because I need this. I need to be reminded of this. Students will review vocabulary, objective or outcome. Detective work. If you didn't know, I was a police officer in America for 11 years. And so when I was a detective, I always was curious. I'm curious about the world like you are. Curious how it works and how to dig deeper. And this is always really gets me excited, as you can see, talking with other people like me. Because me and you and I, even though I'm from America, we're similar. We have a passion for our students and education. And I love that. All right. What about this one? Students can. Students
Out-
can use
Outcome.
outcomes. Bam. Boom shakalaka. Now, boom shakalaka, it's a slang term, but I do use it because when I get excited, the boom shakalaka comes out. All right. So we could see on one side objectives, one side outcomes. Now, why do talk oftentimes, and this is all a lot of metacognition, a lot of self-reflection today. I just want you thinking like right now for 40 minutes and your teacher brain gets to explore the universe. But think about why do teachers often stop at objectives? Because they do. I've seen it. I've been in a lot of classrooms in Central Asia. I've been in a lot of classrooms in Europe. I've been in a lot of classrooms in Southeast Asia. I've been in a lot of classrooms in North America and South America. A lot of teachers. They have this idea of objectives, but how do you get the student to the finish line? Because it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it's a really interesting concept. I've never forget, a mentor of mine said that, hey, sometimes you're in a rush. Like right now, sometimes I feel rushed. And we got to slow down. Objective plan, outcome is results. Good job. I love it. Now we're thinking teacher. Now we're talking teacher talk. Good job. All right. I have the chat open, by the way. I'm following along. So if you want to put something in chat, I'm watching. I'm watching everything. All right. So moving on. Great job, by the way. Thank you for all your participation. So I want you to look at these three. It's a sequencing. It's a map for you. So I'm trying to get you to again visualize. I'm trying to get us to be on the same page. If you're looking at the whole student, I want you to look at it from these five components. Okay. These are the three questions we probably should be asking in some way. Our objective is what will we teach? Experiences. What is the student going to experience? Are you going to experience the VARK method? VARK, visual, auditory, read, write, kinesthetic. Are they going to experience one of them, all of them? Are they going to experience higher order thinking on Bloom's revised taxonomy? Are they going to experience lower order thinking, more like Chomsky, that grammar? I'm an American, so grammar is just like our kryptonite. Like Superman has kryptonite. All right, sorry. I'm a grammar person, but if you talk to teachers, we're not very good at grammar. All right. And what will they demonstrate? So I want you to look at the whole student. Knowledge. How about this one? Language. And think about language from a lot of different contexts because I step in a lot of classrooms with C1 learners and a lot of them struggle. So think about language and confidence. Albert Bandura. Are our students, do they believe they have the ability to achieve the desired outcome? A lot of them don't. And so we have to build that confidence, right? What about this one? Belonging. A good marker of belonging is this, and you might relate to this. If you have the boys in the back row, which is all the time, right? The boys are in the back row. They're on their cell phones talking to their girlfriends or playing, Counter-Strike. And do they really feel like they belong? And how do we get them? And then the girls as well. How do they feel belonging? What does that feel like? And how do we transfer the information? So, which of these five do you think gets the least attention? No. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll put in the chat what for me. You ready? Okay, so I'm going to participate. So, for me, guess what it is? I'm a language teacher. That's what I do. Guess what the least attention I give? Language. I focus on knowledge, confidence, belonging, transfer. That comes easy to me. I tend to go so fast that I lose focus of the language part because a lot of my students are like, I don't understand what you're saying. So I can't know the knowledge. I can't build my confidence. I don't feel like I belong. You see what I'm saying? So for me, this is a really big part of my scope, my objectives, and my outcomes. Like I have to really focus, and that's why I use it. Language. Anybody else have something that gets their least attention? Belonging, transfer. And sometimes transfer can be, in a lecture, does a lecture transfer the information that you want? Or is it the doing that the students have to have the skill work? Do you have the skill work embedded in your lesson plan for them to practice and fail? You want them to fail. You want them to fail a lot so they figure out what success feels like, right? So transfer. Oh, I like that. Oh, thanks. Transfer. Hey, you know what? You people, your eyes are amazing. So honest. I love it. Thanks. You kind of got me excited right now. I just want you to know that. I'm super excited. You kind of make my heart go pitter patter. So a lot of love to all of you right now. Doing a great job. So if you identify something that gets the least attention, this will really, really benefit your objective at. Is everybody still hear me? It says my internet connection. All right, belonging. Oh, Zebo, it's hard to believe. You're like such a I feel so much love from you. I bet your students love you. Love, 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 love you. All right. So just think about it. This is all for you to think about. And I'll send this to this presentation so you can have it, okay? Don't forget that. This is all for you. And I want you to think about what does whole student mean? And it's three things. And is you don't have to go to ResearchGate right now or Google Scholar or Scopus journals. You can just right now relax, have a little somsa, have a little Coke chai, and say, oh, so whole student means academic. I mean, think about this question. Can they explain it? Do they connect with the information? Here's the thing. When I say connect, when I say connect, it's like us. Can you use this information right now in a real life situation? Ooh. If they stepped outside of the classroom, can they find any value in what you just taught them? Because that's the world we live in. They have AI. Oh, that's the kicker. That's the thing we have to remember. They have AI. So what we are doing and explaining and applying, can they do that from our lesson planning? And here's the thing. Remember I told you about language, linguistic? This is me right here. This is what I do. I'm with you. Can they participate? Talk in turns. Think, pair, share. Think, write, pair, share. How about small group work, large group work, model where you get them in a round table, Socratic seminars, debates, skits, role playing, video. Aw, I know, right? I feel you. Is it Tahima? Tamina? I hope that's your first name. Tamina? Tamina, you know what? I agree with you. In Central Asia, especially, you're going to have a lot of people or a lot of students, I call them people, a lot of students say, I'm an introvert or I'm shy. Well, we could kind of believe them, but ultimately they have a brain like us, and we want to get those ideas working for them. So, human, the human side, are they visible? A lot of students feel like they are in the background because they're capable. And we know they are. And I know you know that because the amazing professors that you are. But I want you to think about it in these three ways. Not all, oh, I love it. Yeah. Do they feel safe? Not all the time. Right. And that's where, if we can keep these three, keep it simple, academic, linguistic, human, this is a process that we can start to really look at the reality of our classrooms and build the house. I call it the house. Build that connects them to the real world. All right, sometimes. Thank you. You guys are killing it. So, a strong lesson fails when students learn the content but cannot. I put this sentence frame in here because I have it on my dining room table. Right now, I'm at my dining room table at my flat in Mirabad in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. And this sentence frame keeps me up at night. And here's why. Because it challenges me. It challenges, hopefully, you. Because a strong lesson can fail. And we know that. We know that they may learn the content and memorize it. But what can they not do out of that lesson? So, what is it, the outcome? Did they reach the outcome? Don't produce. Oh my gosh, Dilfusa. Dilfusa, you're blowing my mind. Good job.
Thank
Really good. That's actually, I'm just gonna, Dilfusa, Zebo. Whoa, Zebo. Zebo? Connection. Yeah. I'm liking this. So thank you, because this is
you.
the critical thinking. This is how I'm thinking. I'm thinking exactly on the same wavelength as you. Boop, 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 boop. I'm connecting with you right now. So thank you. Explain. Oh, so you're using the active verbs that are embedded in Bloom's revised taxonomy, in Webb's depth of knowledge, in Costa's house of questions, those basic pedagogy. Who is this? Which, why do you think certain elements of the whole student learn because get the least into, is it a lack of time? Tahimina, I have a lot of not opinions, but evidence-based opinions on what you're asking. Tamina, can I answer that at the end? Would that be okay? Because I think that is the coolest question I've seen. Can I answer that? Is that cool? And then we will go. Yes, I will definitely answer that for you because I do have some thoughts. After 2 years in Central Asia, after the last 4 or 5 years traveling around the world, I definitely have some thoughts on that. All right. All right. Good job, Dilfusa. Oh, Zarengez. Hi, Zarengez. Practice. Yeah, practice is a big one. So I want to look at really quickly, and we have about 15 minutes left. Everybody doing okay? 15 minutes. So I want you to look at a lesson. Here's a snapshot. Did everybody see it? So the lesson snapshot, look at each component. So each component is really an overview. If you were looking at a lesson and you have an objective, and we're going to kind of go through this, but I just want you to think. You don't have to put it in the chat. We'll just kind of think about it. But you have, what's the outcome of this? What do you think the outcome right now? And again, there's no really right or wrong. It could be many outcomes. There's, we know in teaching, there's infinite possibilities. When we plant a seed, who knows what's going to grow? Sometimes a zucchini plant, sometimes a cherry tree, sometimes an oak tree. We think we planted so That's our student. What's missing for language production? Keep me up at night. Like, what is it? What is missing here? And the other question I have, what might students know but still be unable to do? And these, again, I'm just trying to get you to think. Just trying to get us to think together. Like, all right, I have a lesson. I have an idea. Maybe I need to ask a couple of these questions because it's going to help my students. Universal Design for Learning, right? UDL. UDL principles. So, one weakness, one fix. I'm just going to, because we're short on time, I'm just going to say one fix probably needs something at the end, like an exit task, like a check for understanding, maybe an informal assessment, maybe a formal assessment, maybe a game, maybe a small project that they work on at the end. Maybe, but something. Self-reflection, journaling, talk and turn, something where they do a sticky note. I mean, endless possibilities. But definitely a weakness here, if you're kind of starting to see what I'm seeing, is they definitely need something at the end that they can leave with, kind of like what we're going to do today. All right, cool. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? Everybody doing all right? Everybody still with me? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
setting the task. Yeah, good job. I love it. So, if you could, in where you're at, whether you're in Hujan, Dushanbe, whatever city you're at right now in beautiful Tajikistan, I want you to choose one stronger outcome for that lesson. So, students will complete the reading and answered questions. Students can explain one local climate issue, use four target words, and and propose one solution. By the way, and use AI when you're doing this. AI is a group comes. Use AI, and then week. See, and again, I've seen this before on C with educators. It's too broad. The students will walk out. Oh, okay, yeah, we reviewed vocabulary, but every student learns differently: visual, auditory, read, write, kinesthetic, right? So keep that in mind as we're moving on. Good job. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for participating. Appreciate it. Doing awesome. So, just like a webinar, hint, hint, less teacher talk. Less teacher talk. Hello, Giuseppe. Less teacher talk. So forgive me because we're tight on time. Otherwise, this would be, I want to hear from you. But we do only have about 10 minutes. So a little bit more teacher talk than usual. But less teacher talk. Think about this. And this is a different way of looking at it, a different perspective than Bloom's, like I said, or I'm going to keep hammering those home. Great methodology frameworks. We need them. We need the theory, but the practicality of what we're doing. We need our students to retrieve the information, explain it, and then choice. Give them two choices. I try to stay away from three or four. I say, hey, you have a choice here, and make it simple for them because we have time constraints. So a choice is just usually two options, but choice will give them a moment to think, and that covers everyone. When you force them to choose, they have to think, and then they have to begin to plan. Then they have to organize their plan. Then they have to synthesize the information. Then they have to evaluate the information. And then they have to communicate any question. You see what I'm saying? So then you start the ball rolling. Keep that in mind. That's a tool in your tool belt. That is going to revolutionize your classroom. Just give them a choice because it starts so much of the thinking process and you don't have to do anything. Nothing. Just give them a choice and they'll take it from there. All right. Reasoning, comparison, and that transfer. So again, reinforcing the concepts that meaning, the students are just kind of sitting there. Yeah, I'm here, but I'm really not here. How do you keep them accountable? And these are all those considerations. So hopefully you feel like you've already got one thing today that you can use in your classroom. Maybe choice, hint, 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 hint. In Tajikistan, I'm gonna walk in your classroom. We'll be co-teaching, me and you. I'll be rocking and rolling with you. And everybody's gonna be like, wow, who is this guy? And I'll be like, I'm with you. I'm with you, Zebo. What are we doing today? And then me and you will give him choice. All right. Sounds good. All right. So think about what maybe would impact your classes this week. I mean, because again, tomorrow I have class. I have two pairs. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this with you. This is not just me. Hey, show up. Giuseppe doesn't do this stuff. I teach. I'm a professor. I teach 10 pairs a week on top of training, on top of traveling, on top of doing everything like you're doing. I just don't have to cook. Well, I cook for myself, but I do. So, what shift would have which one would have the biggest impact for you? And this is just for you to think about. Like, you know what? I'm going to try this week because I'm going to see how I can give them a choice and see how they reason and begin to explain. And then I don't have to do as much because you don't. And when you don't do as much, the learning increases. It really does. And so go do your thing. All right, here we go. These are the scaffolds I would suggest. Now, by the end of this lesson, students can, because they practiced, again, I will send this to you. I will send this to you. But sentence frames, just sentence frame the heck out of them because they cannot get away from a sentence frame. I have sentence frames like you. I do, you do, we do. So, how many of us sometimes give instructions and then we're just like, all right, go do it? Take again, give them an opportunity to do it with you. So, for me, what I would suggest is take a student and you model it. I do. Then you do it, practice it, and then we're going to do it now as a group. Give them the steps to get to what led Vygotsky, social constructivism theory, meaning they can't do it yet. Then we're going to guide them. We're administrators. They're so used to telling me. I'm like, you have a choice. You have a choice to go this direction or that direction. And they're like, oh yeah, so training them too. I'm really into training administrators and rectors. We got to think differently. All right. Short, visible success criteria, and then low risk. We just want to make sure that they feel safe, that they have plenty of space to make mistakes. All right. Here we go. So you're doing a great job. Lesson A. Which one do you think? Lesson A. Teachers explain essay structure. Students copy notes. Homework equals outline. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing around. Just having fun. Teacher models essay structures. Ooh. Students analyze examples. Oh. Co-construct criteria. Yeah. Then draft and justify choices. Oh. What do you think? Huh? Sounds fun, huh? I know. That's a classroom I want to sit in with you. Zebo, I'm in your classroom. I'm coming. When I sit front row and
Okay.
you're modeling,
Yes, I
okay?
like modeling. I like it. I like explaining, giving modeling, giving instruction rather than playing the activity because students are very curious. They want to jump into play without listening the instruction well. But I say stop. The most important is modeling. First, I make sure that you know what you are going to do. They're so
Well, I am
impatient.
supporting you right now. I am supporting you and telling you all the evidence is supporting everything you're doing. And now just keep going and pushing because you can just continue to build and let the students run with it. where they analyze the examples and then they co-construct with you the criteria for what you're looking. You create it and I'll guide you. I'll
Mhm.
guide you through the process. I was in Karachi, Pakistan, and I love Karachi, Pakistan. Love it. I lived there a year. But a lot of
Wow.
the teachers still have this idea of like, I'm right, you're wrong. And what I hear from leaders like us is, you're going to make mistakes. And even though maybe you're going down this path, let me show you what this path looks like together. And that was a good idea, but let's shift that idea. And what does this idea look like from an evidence based? And so, yeah, you're talking my language right now. See, we're talking on the same play. Yeah, we're in the same world right now. All right, good job. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. So,
Okay.
choose one real lesson you teach. Let's just look at this. If you right now took a screenshot and said, "Hey, I'm creating a lesson on AI right now on global studies." Hint, hint. And you prompted AI with your ideas. And you said, ChatGPT, this is what I need. 5 minutes, 5 more minutes, Zuro. That's it. My current objective is a better student outcome would be, and one whole student support I will add. One, just one will change. One whole student support, belonging, language. You see what I'm saying? See where I'm going? Okay. We're all on the same page. So think about this. What is the most valuable change you made? All right. So keep that in mind because these are value rich. This is like digging down. We're just taking everything and we're putting it through the filter and we're saying, here's the gold. All the other stuff is great, but this is what we really want to focus on. So if you say you don't have time, I have the same 24 hours you do. So me and you are going to have a talk if you say I don't have time. Me and you. Me and you are going to have a talk. Giuseppe's going to fly into Dushanbe and I'm going to find you in Hujan. I'm going to ride the Sky Tram and I'm going to find you where you're at. And if you say I don't have time, I'm going to be like, my students are too passive. They're all wanting to, like you said, be curious. Exactly. And their English level is mixed. Yeah, I know that it is. And their minds are mixed. Their minds are all mixed up. But you know what? We got this. We're gonna differentiate. No problem. Very interesting. Oh, thanks, Zuro. So just be honest like you have been. Which barrier is most real? And I'm gonna tell you. So, hey, for my guys out there, really quick story. I was teaching 14 professors. I run a journal. I'm the publishing editor. I found it just in case you want to publish. We'll talk about this after. But I have an academic journal, and so I'm teaching them how to write an article. And he comes up to me and goes, Giuseppe, do you work out? I go, yeah, I work out, take care of my body, just like you. And he's just like, I don't have time to work out. I'm like, that's an excuse. You have time. You're just not prioritizing your health, just like our students, right? They're going to say, I don't have time. We say we don't have time. You have time. We have time. We can do this, okay? I encourage you. I believe in you. You can do this. All right. So, we're finishing up. Final reflection. Boom, shakalaka. It's coming to an end. We're about to go have some plov, some Monty, some kortop, the best meal in Central Asia. Kortop. I love it. Little milky. Yep, love it. And in my next class, what are you going to do? Kortub. That's it. Thank you, Zebo. Thank you. You inspired me, Zebo. That's why I'm here. I get all my energy from you. All right. Just think of one whole student element that you intentionally focus on. Just think about that. And is this clearer now? Do you see where sometimes we just kind of mix everything up, kind of like a salad? And guess what we put in the salad? We put in lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and we call it a salad. But there's lettuce, tomatoes, onions, which makes the salad yummy. Yum, 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 yum. So we have to be really clear what we are doing. And sometimes we just need a little reminder because I know you're doing this. I know you do. I know you are. Or if you're feeling like still a little uncertain, maybe this clarified for you and you're just like, let's go do this. Let's rock and roll. Let's do this. Your students are just going to be like rocking it. All right. So ready to apply? Heck yeah, let's go do it. All right. So this is what it is. You guys did really good. I went 5 minutes over. Sorry, Zuro. All right. Stronger teaching begins. I'm not going to read this because you can read. All right. Guess what? If you need to get a hold of me ever, I'm going to do one more. I think right now I got one more of these planned. I promise I won't go so long. I promise, Zuro. Promise you. All right. I might actually. I'm just kidding. I tend to get excited and carried away because when I have amazing people like I have right now, it just happens. But I have language. You can get a hold of me anywhere in the world. You're never, ever, ever bothering me. You're never, ever, I'm never too busy for you. I'm like chewing gum now. You can't get rid of me. I'm somewhere because we have social media. If you have a question or you want to talk about teaching, that's how you get a hold of me, my friends. My friends, okay? You have a lot of support. English Without Borders. This guy, bald headed, has a beard, a lot of tattoos from America. His name's Giuseppe. He would love to work with you, okay? Great job today, everyone. Thank you, Rahmat. You say, I think you say Rahmat in Tajikistan too, don't you? Zuro?
Yes, yes, we do say Rahmat in Tajiki as well. Yeah, we
I
say
knew it.
Rahmat and Tashakur as well.
Boom. There's my peoples. All right. I love it. I'll be quiet now. Good job, everyone. Uh,
Boom shakalaka laka. I learned this, Giuseppe.
that's
Boom
it. Me and
shakalaka.
you are best friends now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rahmati Kalon, for this webinar, which means thank you very much in Tajik. That was really informative, and I believe not only me, but everyone loved it. And I have scrolled through the chat and I can see a couple of questions here. So um, maybe you've already touched on these questions during your session, but for those who have joined later or who have missed this information, I think that we could repeat them as well. So
Yeah.
um, let me start with Tahmina Saliva's question. She's asking, Dr. Giuseppe, in your experience working with teachers, why do you think certain elements of the whole student plans consistently get the least attention in lesson planning? Is it a lack of time or lack of specific tools?
It's a lack of confidence coupled with, in combination with not being connected to other teachers in a support group. And what
Yeah,
I've seen is when somebody lacks confidence in one area, they try to overcompensate in another area, and then they never work on this area because they're like, I know this is happening, but I don't have the answer. And, there's other teachers out there, but I don't think they're going to help me because I have to figure it out. And a lot of teachers work in what we call silos in America, where you're in your classroom, you teach, go home, then you come back, and you never connect and ask the questions that, again, help you be the better educator. And that's where, again, hopefully you feel open to, again, connect, network with people like myself because I have a network with you. I will ask you a question like, hey, what do you do? I'm struggling with this. I told you what I struggle with. And we got to be open and honest. And a lot of teachers try to hide that because then if they show a weakness in the classroom, it's very scary sometimes because then the students know everything. The students can sniff it. And we know that. And so this is where what I found, especially with respect and certain cultural expectations, a lot of teachers will overcompensate and then they don't have the network necessary for them to be honest and feel like they belong. So we need to feel belonging. So then our students feel, you see, so it's all connected. That classroom is an extension of us. And that's what I've seen. I honestly, time, I found it's an excuse, kind of like, more like, oh, I don't have, yeah, you do. You have time to call me or talk to me, or we can talk, or you could talk to It's just, can we make you feel like you belong and you feel safe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly. This is what we try to create in EWB as well, create a safe environment where teachers feel free to ask
Yes,
their
and that's why I'm here. That's why I believe in what you're doing.
questions.
I do. That's why I'm here. All right. What does social emotional growth include in the whole? Yeah, social emotional growth. So
Even if they
SEL.
think that those,
So I look at
yeah, the bomb
Yeah,
rode
Zeba,
away.
that's a good
Yeah, yeah.
question. So SEL in the process is something where it breaks down into three components that you, and this is where you're going to have to kind of dive into theory and reality. So Knowles et al. Talks about andragogy versus pedagogy. Andragogy is adult learning processes it's in the last 10 years has really taken flight because anybody over 18 years old to 25 is going to think very differently than a high schooler
Mhm.
and learn differently. And so Knowles et al. Came up with andragogy. Now, andragogy is based on three principles. Number one is motivation. We have to motivate our students and connect with them, which means connection means build rapport. Rapport means relationships, just like us. You
Mhm.
notice that what's the first thing that I did with you is the most important part of a webinar or in person is the fact that we're
Checking.
real people and we're here to connect, right? And then that social emotional growth becomes part of the experience of learning. And then the second part of Knowles et al. Is not only we have motivation, but we have knowledge. So we're going to give them knowledge in different forms and different ways where we're going to give them, whether graphic organizers, skit, whatever it may be, movie clips, I don't know, lecture. But then they need the skill work. So the knowledge is that collaboration. And then the skills is having fun and that's the social emotional. What does it mean to enjoy the learning process and then connect it to where I need it to connect, which is my life? And so those steps of andragogy is where we're headed both internationally. North America for sure is really, as a professor in North America, meaning America, when I'm a professor there, we're really into that concept of how do we build out our lesson plans to really incorporate connecting social emotionally with adult learners, and what does that look like from that foundational aspect? That's a complex question. I could talk about that all day with you. So we're gonna have a coffee one day, Zebo, me and you and
Uh-huh.
Dushanbe.
Yes.
We'll
Yes,
sit in the
yes,
cafe
please.
and we'll talk about social emotional.
Yeah.
I can just see it.
Or maybe you will come to Bochtar, where I am from, in the
Oh,
north,
that's where you're at.
south,
Okay.
south part.
Oh, oh my gosh. Now you really got me excited because I've never even heard of that. And now I'm gonna look it up after I look. All right.
Yes, yes.
Boktar, got it. Boktar. Boktar.
And also, I liked the way how you checked every time. How you feeling? It's also social emotional learning. Yeah, I felt
Yes.
that you all are asking us, "Are you with me? Is everything clear?" So, and also on your slides, you put checking like checking like I like that also
Yeah. Yeah. I had
emojis
to rush through
with
it a little.
emojis.
Yeah, I had to rush through it a little bit. I would like obviously to know where you're feeling because this is how we express ourselves now. And this is where meeting you, me, and I understand an emoji. And sometimes an emoji is different for other students. So I'll have them do emojis
Mm-hmm.
on Telegram. We'll have a Telegram group and I'll say, hey, or a Menti meter. Menti is really good. Menti's free, by the way. What
Mm-hmm.
method do you use for checking the outcomes of your lesson? Earlier, it's multiple. I do roses and thorns, glow and grow, sticky notes. I have them journal. I walk around. I ask them open-ended questions. I have a tennis ball and I throw it. I ask them what's one thing, two things. I have them do small groups. I have them do parent share. I have them do think right parent share. I have them do talk and turn. I have them do a Mentimeter maybe, or maybe I have them come up and we have a game, and then we kind of break down. I mean, it's infinite possibilities. And, or even just sometimes as they're walking out of the room, I go, hey, what was one thing you remember today? And they go, oh, Himes, 1967. I'm like, great job. You learned one thing. And they're like, I slept the rest of the time, but they got Himes. That's pragmatic. So, hey, great job. It just is, again, informal versus formative. There's so many options. I do Google Forms. I'll do a Google form. 2 questions, though. That's it. 2 questions, a Google form, and then I put it up on the board as they're answering. And until everybody leaves and answers, they can't leave. Just, hey, I want you to participate. A lot of options. Again, this is why we're here, networking, sharing information. What would I do if students have no interest to say? It seems to be a trend now. Many of them don't want to put any effort. Yeah. So effort, effort is subjective. And I agree. So that's where I would go back to what Knowles et al. What is the motivation? I spend a lot of time, as we were talking about earlier, checking in social emotionally early on. Hey, how you doing? What'd you do this week? Tell me about Navruz, and start getting them connecting with what they're doing today in the present moment, because a lot of them live in the past and the future. A lot of them are focused on what is happening after class, or a lot of them are like, I had all this stress and I can't even focus right now. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm just here. And so getting them focused on, that's a social emotional part, is what is the motivation for today? So, again, it could be I do a lot of interactive, open-ended questions, small group early on, get them moving, a lot of kinesthetic, a game, small game, tap, 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 play, play, something very simple instructions I do. I usually right now get them on their phones, but with like something tech interactive. So then I can walk around on their phones while they're using them, and they're using their phones to interact with me. So that's just getting them in the present moment, because again, a lot of them they're studying through AI. So they know they can rely on AI to answer their questions. And so building that trust back, saying, "Hey, this is the environment where I need you." And that would be, you know what? I may actually do a talk on that. I actually do a lot of not trainings, but professional development on that. Because I'm gonna do one more, and then maybe that'll be another topic, and then that could open up maybe a discussion with us.
Yes, yes. So let us take the final question then,
Okay.
uh, in order not to leave it open.
Yeah.
Teacher Gula asks, what should you do if students have no interest in studying? It seems to be a trend now. Many of them
Yeah.
don't want to put any effort.
Yeah, I would engage with them. I would honestly, I do redirects. So the one thing I do is for those students, and I've had classes. I have whole classes. So I'll have a class of a village class, and then I'll have a class of a Russian class, like a city class, where it's just two different personalities. And a lot of times the village class takes a lot of time to warm up to me because I'm loud. I'm going to be very expressive. I'm going to come into their circle of proximity. And so that can be seen as lack of motivation. So what I use is interactive. Like I said, I'll have ball. If you don't have a ball, I would highly recommend bringing a ball or some type of movement into the classroom where they have to actually wake up. And the other thing is, when I say wake up, I would suggest, even in large classes, having them number off 1, 2, 3 all the way, and take 1 minute out of your day of the lecture. Have a number off 1 to 70 or 1 to 10. And then throughout the class, call out 20. And then everybody's going to look around for number 20. And they're like, oh gosh, 20. Am I 20? And they're like, yeah, you're 20. And wake them up. And then from there, if they're numbering, if they're struggling with studying, keep them interested with different interactive listening games, because the language is shutting them down. They're frustrated. So they shut down because they're maybe not understanding. The other thing is, you could do animals, you could do colors, you could do countries, but have them start out in class really thinking about and getting them to think in English so that they speak in English. And so when I do numbers, I also do 1 plus 8. And they're like, 1 plus 8? And yeah, and 9. So number 9 has to answer. So no matter if they're not motivated to study or not, they're going to interact with me. And if they say they don't know, that's fine. Okay, you don't know, but I'm going to come back to you. So you better pay attention because Central Asian culture is not like American culture. Central Asian culture, they hold each other accountable. They do not want to be embarrassed. And so that's an anonymous tip. Now you're not picking on them. Now you're saying, hey, number 31. And they're like, 30, what the 31? You see what I'm saying? So that would be one tool in your tool belt that you could use to get them actually focused on the moment and listening. And then from there, build out your objectives and outcomes to match the value by which you're trying to get them to see to connect to the real world. That was a lot in a little bit of time. So I hope I didn't just.
Hi there.
Yeah, that was a lot, but I believe that was very, very useful. And me personally, I will need to rewatch the webinar to remember every piece of that advice, but that was very valuable. Thank you very much. So,
You're right,
dear
Zuho, you are
colleagues,
so right. Thank you so much. Always so informative. But you know what the problem? I'm teacher Gulia, by the way.
Hi, Guli.
Yeah. So like in my school, when the student applied just to study there, they are accepting the students who they don't know any words in English, and they're gonna put them in a classes where the class is kind of they already can speak
Uh,
English. And sometimes for these kind of students, like we have got 4 or 5 of them, so it will be so much difficult to interact them, and sometimes
yeah,
you just start to work with the students who speak English. With them, for them it will be so much boring.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
just sharing some worksheet and very easy one, but still it makes our job so much difficult because we have to interact the whole class.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
see your problem, and that is a valid problem. Let's start there. I totally relate to you. I've had classes like that many
Mm.
times, especially in Thailand. Oh my gosh, Thailand was rough on that.
So in which
I
of these
do.
cases, what you use, what kind of things you use it in order just to interact them, like
So
with
I
some piece
use
of advice?
differentiated nutrition then.
Mm.
You have to go. You can't do universal design for learning because you have such a big gap. So differentiated instruction would be, all right, I have one group doing this and start moving them into different, again, instruction groups and letting them know that this is how the class is going to run from now on. You're going to participate and these are our goals and outcomes. That would be something I could work one-on-one with you with and just get some ideas going, get kind of a feel of the environment you're in, because that would be frustrating. Hold on, that is frustrating, but it is manageable. I'm just telling you, it sounds like you are really motivated, which inspires me. And I'm really
Mm.
excited that
Thank
you
you.
shared with that honesty. I think it's one of those complex problems where let me put my Telegram. If you do you work on Telegram in Tajikistan?
Yes, of course.
All right. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes people are like, here's my Telegram. If you have, we can, again, I put it in the chat. That's my international Telegram, so you can find me anywhere in the world.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So just let me
Thank
know.
you.
That's okay. And then we can kind of think about, again, brainstorm, mind map. There's a lot of options you have, but you're not alone. That's the one thing. You're not alone. We're in this together. Okay.
thank you. Thank you very much. So, dear all, I know that you might have more questions, but we have to conclude this webinar. You can leave your questions later on Facebook in the comments, and if Dr. Giuseppe has time, he will respond to your comments on Facebook. But for
Mm.
today, yes, we have to finish, and I would like to one more time thank all of you for being with us today, and especially Dr. Giuseppe. Thank you very much for
Oh,
this very informative and very useful session. session. We look forward to seeing you again in person, offline, or online. Yes, we would be delighted to see you once in Tajikistan. If you visit, come to EWB's office. Our doors are always open to you. So, yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much for
Love
this
what you're
session.
doing. I
One more
support
time,
you.
happy Nowruz. Yes, and
Happy
hope
numbers,
to see
everyone.
all of you
Yeah.
next week. Goodbye,
All right.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Good job.
Bye. Thank you
Nice
so much.
meeting you all. Y'all, anytime. Love you all. Have a great day. All right. Great night.